Georgia, man.
Alright, so first I'm priming her face with an e.l.f. Hydrating face primer. This is going to fill in the fine lines and moisturize her face under her foundation. Alright, next I'm filling in her eyebrows with Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Chocolate. Alright, now I'm using the Masquerade by Juvias Place palette, and the colors that I'm using are Cairo, Ada, and Fulani. Alright, now I'm using some of my lashes from AliExpress that I use on my clients, on Chelsea. She does have very watery eyes, so the tip that I use, I always try to let the glue get a little tacky before applying it to the eye. I let hers get super tacky because I knew that her eyes were going to water, causing the glue to be watery. And what you don't want to do is get glue in the client's eye. So we're going to take our time with Chelsea and have patience with her little watery eyes. Alright, so now I'm just concealing her face, just some dark spots on her face with some flesh toned concealer. You can use any concealer you want. This in particular is Ruby Kisses. I use Ruby Kisses in my palette, as well as L.A Girl Concealer. If you are L.A Girl Concealer girl, Chelsea would be Beautiful Bronze. And I'm just touching up dark spots. You can also use an orange color corrector, but I chose to go with something that is her actual skin tone. I'm just going to dab that in with my beauty blender. And notice that I'm patting and not smearing to get ultimate coverage. Alright, now I'm gonna go in with some foundation. This is actually Chelsea's foundation. She uses MAC. and I believe the number is 72. Everything will be listed in the description box below. This is medium to full coverage. Chelsea doesn't need a lot of coverage. She has great skin, so we're not going to cake it on, just something to even out the skin tone. And I'm doing mostly patting motions with my foundation brush from Real Techniques, patting and lightly stroking to get the maximum coverage without a lot of product. Alright, now I'm about to get ready to highlight and conceal. I'm highlighting with the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in 4.5. I'm going pretty light under her eyes, just so that they'll pop, and then just a little bit under her nose and her chin. Those are the 3 areas that I tend to highlight. For some people, I do the forehead area. It all depends, and of course I do go down the nose. Now, this is the most important part. It's very important to blend your highlight under your eyes. You do not want to look ghostly. You want to blend it downwards and make sure that everything is flawless and airbrushed. And I use a beauty blender, and I also use my concealer brush to make sure there's no harsh lines. But this takes some time. I was doing this for quite a bit. Next, I'm taking my Sacha Buttercup setting powder to set the highlight under her eyes. This is to avoid creasing and to give you a matte finish so that your highlight can last all night. This is a great setting powder for brown skin, and it has no flashback when you're taking a picture at night. Alright, now I'm going in with the L.A Girl Concealer in the color Mahogany. I'm contouring her forehead, her cheekbones, and down the bridge of her nose. I'm blending this with a beauty blender, and I'm also going in with my foundation brush just to be sure there's no harsh lines or no muddy look as far as that dark color on her cheekbones. Alright, I'm taking the Sacha Buttercup and I'm just carving out her cheekbones. This is going to just give her cheekbones an extra pop, and so you can really see where I placed the contour. It's also going to clean up the contour that I did as well. I'm going back in with the Masquerade palette, and every color that I place on the top of her lid, I'm placing it on the bottom lid just to draw it all together. Now I'm about to highlight her face with my Hikari bronzer and highlight palette. I got this in one of my Etsy bags a couple months ago, and I'm just doing the top of her cheekbones, her nose, and a little bit of her chin. Now I'm going to go in with blush, and this is the Juvias Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. The two colors that I'm using are Yara and B for her cheeks. Now I'm about to do Chelsea's least favorite part, the setting spray. This is the Cover FX Mattifying Setting Spray. This is my favorite setting spray. This is gonna mattify your face and have it lasting all day. Look how dramatic she is, y'all. And for her lips, I'm just using MAC's Velvet Teddy. And I'm gonna go on top with some NYX gloss. Alright, that's it, folks. I had to get a few photos in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to me and Chelsea's page. Thank you guys for watching.